Yeah, well, very appropriate to move on to my guest in the studio at the moment, Greg Troughton, who is the CEO of the Real Estate Institute of South Australia. And Greg, you must be relieved that it's all over for this year.
Absolutely relieved. It was a long week last week with the Australasian Auctioneering Championships culminating in the awards night. I look forward to the sleep in on Saturday morning, that's for sure.
Good work. Perhaps a little bit of a wrap on the evening. You're pleased with it. Obviously some terrific award winners throughout the evening.
Absolutely terrific award winners throughout the evening. I mean, it was the 8th year. Seems to be getting bigger and bigger every year.
Yes.
Congratulations to the TOOP team. I mean, multiple finalists. I mean, you really do set the standard very high. And I know that when your competitors pip you off the post with some of those awards, they take it they take it very graciously.
Yes.
And they know how hard they've had to work. But the TOOP team did a fantastic job again this year.
Yeah, no, it was good. Of course, we're I guess fairly proud of the fact that not only those 3 wonderful awards, which if I just list them, Residential Property Manager of the Year, which was Debbie Copley, Marketing Communications, which Leanne Kuss and Genevieve Toop were headlining, and of course Residential Small Agency at Stirling was with 3 wins, but of course our Hall of Fame people as well, so we do pretty well.
I do exceptionally well. As I said, the TOOP team really do set a standard, and I don't say that because I'm here. I say that everywhere I go. They really do set a standard. And Debbie, Property Manager of the Year, in this marketplace, I know that the selling people in the industry, you know, that's the sexy side. Property management is where it's at right now, and you know, congratulations must go to Debbie for sure.
Yeah, thank you for that. Tell us about the night. Obviously, a lot of work goes into it. Having been to a couple of the awards over the years, clearly the ante gets upped every year in terms of entertainment and just the night. It's a terrific night.
Look, I have the pleasure of sitting back. I have a wonderful team around me, just as you do, Tim. It's the team that puts it together. I generally end up just signing the cheques, is what I find. So, look, it was a great night, and it becomes a bigger production every year. People enjoy it. People say it's right. It's the right thing at the right time. And yeah, we've had nothing but good feedback on it, so it's wonderful. It really is.
Well, congratulations to your team. I think perhaps congratulations also to the judges. I noted on the night perhaps they might have missed out on a mention here and there, but some high-profile people throughout Adelaide who give up their time and do a pretty good job with all of that.
They certainly do. I mean, one thing that we pride ourselves about these awards is the fact that they are independent. We have an independent auditor, and we have a vast range of people, influential people, business people, politicians, community service participants, all providing us their time in order to do the judging, and they do a fantastic job every year. They are the forgotten heroes, but they really do make it the night that it is.
Yeah, oh, terrific. Well, I guess not to forget the fact that earlier in the week we had a fairly special occurrence with the Australasian Auctioneering Championships here, which I think 1 in 14 years we get them here.
Generally speaking, yes, that's what it is. I think the last time we had it here was 12 years ago.
Okay.
And look, it's something that the Real Estate Institute wanted to celebrate all things that are auctioned, and having the best of the best from Australasia here in Adelaide was just a wonderful event. And once again, you know, the boys at the Society did a fantastic job between Gary and Brett. In terms of the auctioneering stuff, it went down an absolute treat. The events that went around it were second class, were top class as well. I was going to say second class. I keep on saying second class because New Zealand keep on winning, and it's starting to annoy me. So Daniel did a fantastic job, but I hope that you know, an Australian finalist will get up one day.
Well, hopefully soon. Just for those of you not aware, lovely conference throughout the week, the Australasian Auctioneering Championships. I think started with a round of golf, a tour through the Barossa. Wednesday were the heats, 15 people competing.
That's right.
And we had Anthony Toop was one of the judges.
Yes, he sat through 15 mock auctions, and then the 5 finalists were announced for the Thursday, and then they competed. And wasn't it an absolute fantastic property they had to auction as well? I'm currently sitting here in the property. I probably know more about it than I ever thought I would, hearing 5 auctioneers go through it. But yeah, it really was a great event.
What did it sell for?
I think it went for, I want to say $7.1 million from memory.
Nice.
I did hear it 5 times. You'd think I'd know that very clearly, but $7.1 million I think it went to on 5 occasions, so it went very well.
Well, one would suggest that if that's the case, probably Anthony and Silver would be quite happy with that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Just perhaps going back to the REISA Awards, I did neglect to ask you the significance to the industry throughout the year and ongoing in holding these awards.
2 things. One, it's an opportunity for everyone to let their hair down and enjoy the profession that they're in. But more importantly, it sort of sets a gauge for the real estate consumer out there. You know, where do you start when you are either buying or selling? You know, who should you use? All of those sorts of things. Well, here are the best of the best. Between the finalists and the winners, we really do have the best of the best here in South Australia, and it really does set a gauge. You know, we do have some rat bags in our profession, but that night is the night to celebrate all things that are good.
Yep.
And it really does shine to the fore.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. That's good. I guess perfect segue into asking how the current discussions on legislation is going.
Interesting. There's 2 issues at the fore at the moment. Obviously, we're continuing discussions with the Attorney General, who's been absolutely fantastic through this whole process. Absolutely transparent, and obviously that's the way we want auctioneers to be as well. So we'll continue those conversations. I guess the thing that's most concerning to us at the moment is the whole national licensing.
Yes.
I guess to give you the elevator story, I'm very concerned that real estate agents into the future will be able to get their licence out of the so-called Wheaties packet. We pride ourselves on a very high profession, you know, celebrating it on the night of the awards. There is a real potential for consumer risk to enter this marketplace in a significant way by dumbing down the standards of entry, and this is all about consumer protection. And as I said on the night, and I'll keep saying it, it beggars belief as to the logic. I did happen to meet with the Treasurer yesterday, and there is some funding coming from the Feds to introduce these productivity gains, so we'll continue working with them to try and get the best outcome in that situation.
I guess for the consumer out there at the moment, what's important to note is that Adelaide, South Australia, probably has one of the highest level of entry into the industry.
It definitely does. It definitely does.
Correct me if I'm wrong, 3 months to get your
Generally
licence
speaking,
full-time?
yes. An agent has to have a diploma.
Yes.
A sales rep has to have 17 of the 24 units out of a Cert 4.
Yep.
So it's a very high standard. I compare that to, say, New South Wales, where I think it is 3 units now to be a sales rep. The fundamental difference is in this state, we do a lot more of the work. In New South Wales, they are a sort of boy meets girl introductory mechanism.
Yep.
Find the vendor, introduce the purchaser, sign a 1-page agreement and send it off to the lawyers. Where in this state we do a lot more.
Yes.
And so we believe the entry requirement should be a lot more naturally, because otherwise it's to the peril of the consumer.
Of course, then begs the question, how could someone wander in from New South Wales with that licence and expect to operate in this environment? So
that's spot on. It spells danger for me.
Yeah, well, I think anyone who has a passion for the industry who is not necessarily in it should speak to their local MP.
Please do. We'd love them to do that.
All right. Well, Greg, stay with me and we'll be back talking a little bit more about the industry later in the show. For the time being, some of our going, gone properties.